Ah, my dear friends, gather around. It's your curious old grandpa here, and I've just finished watching the new season of Squid Game. Let me tell you, I haven't been this excited since the last season. I couldn't wait to dig into all the fascinating details and theories hidden in this season, so I've put together some of the most interesting ones just for you. Let's get started, shall we? 1. The tracker that went missing. In the doll's game, our hero Gi-hun checks for the tracker his friends placed on him, only to find it's been removed. Poor guy is terrified, saying, "I'm done for." This moment mirrors the scene in Season 1 when he realized his cookie shape was nearly impossible. Same words, same camera angle. What a clever callback. 2. The new doll's story. Did you know the doll in the post-credit scene has a name? It's Cheo Soo, and he's supposed to be the boyfriend of the original doll from Season 1. Both are based on characters from Korean children's books. Some believe this hints at future games, but I wonder, could it be a flashback to the frontman's time as a player? 3. A trustworthy trans player. During the doll's game, a trans player saves Gi-hun from falling just like Ali saved him in Season 1. Moments like these warm my old heart. It's always good to see kindness shining through in such a dark story. 4. Why the frontman played again. Here's a fascinating one. The frontman rejoined the games after years of running them. Why, you ask? It goes back to Season 1, when Miname said, "The best way to enjoy these games is by playing them yourself." Those words must have stuck with him all these years. 5. The ship captain's betrayal. Now here's a twist for you. The ship captain, who spent 2 years helping the policemen search for the Squid Game island, turned out to be a traitor. He was working with the front man all along, sabotaging their plans. Sneaky fellow, isn't he? 6. Sacrifice for a friend. In Episode 1, a mafia ally of Gi-hun sacrifices himself so his subordinate can survive. It reminded me of the marble game in Season 1, where a young girl gave up her chance so Se-byuk could win. Sacrifice is a recurring theme, isn't it? 7. The origin of the carousel song. The eerie tune from the carousel game is actually a children's song called Round and Round. Who would have thought such an innocent melody could become so chilling in this context? 8. Casting controversy. There's been some chatter about the casting of the trans character. She's played by an actor, Park Soo-hun, which upset some fans. The director explained that finding openly trans actresses in South Korea was quite difficult. A complicated situation, to be sure. 9. The frontman's tragic past. The frontman's reaction to a cruel comment about raising children reveals a heartbreaking truth. He lost his wife and unborn child long ago. No wonder he lost his temper. It's details like these that make the characters so layered. 10. Google's hidden minigame. Here's a fun one for you tech-savvy folks. Type Squid Game 2 into Google and you'll find a minigame based on the doll's game. It's all harmless fun, but winning gets you a delightful little animation. 11th, Gi-hun's tracker. Some fans have been puzzled about why Gi-hun's tracker was removed, while others were allowed to smuggle in dangerous items. The reason is simple. The tracker could have exposed the games to the outside world, while the other items added to the VIP's spectacle. 12th, a theory of survival. At the end of the season, we see player 246 get shot, and it seems like he might be dead. However, if we pay close attention, we notice something intriguing. The guard who shoots him is wearing a triangle mask, just like the North Korean woman we encountered earlier in the series. This woman had met 246's daughter and appeared to sympathize with him. This detail could suggest that she intentionally avoided shooting him in a vital spot. Instead, she might have injured him just enough to disguise him among the bodies selected for organ trafficking. There's a possibility she could help him escape in Part 3. But what do you think of this theory? 13. Gi-hun's bold stand and a nod to the past. After the dolls game, the players are visibly shaken, but Gi-hun musters the courage to stand up and confront the guards. He reminds them of their right to vote under clause number 3. Interestingly, the way Gi-hun rises mirrors Sang-woo's actions in the first season, where he invoked the same clause in a similar manner.
참가자 과반수가 동의를 하면 게임은 중단된다. 맞습니까?
14th, connections across borders. In the new season, we meet a woman working as a pink guard who reveals she fled North Korea, leaving behind her 1-year-old daughter. In one scene, she is seen speaking with a man who is helping her search for her child. Interestingly, this is the same man Sabya contacted in the first season to assist in bringing her mother to South Korea. In fact, in the same episode, Gi-hun also interacts with this man. 15. The Bee. At the beginning of Greenlight Game in Season 2, Gi-hun successfully guides the other players on when to move and freeze. However, things take a tragic turn when a bee lands on the neck of player 196. She instinctively moves and is shot, triggering mass panic. At first glance, the bee might seem like a random occurrence, but upon closer consideration, it raises questions. How did the bee get there? The painted clouds and open skies are artificial as the game takes place in an enclosed space. Notably, no other insects are seen throughout the series. This detail leads to a compelling theory. Perhaps those running the games deliberately released the bee to create chaos. 16. The inconsistencies of red light, green light. This game in Season 2 somehow manages to be even more terrifying than the first time we saw it. This time, both we and Gi-hun know exactly what gruesome consequences await any misstep. The objective remains the same. Players must cross the finish line within the allotted time while staying perfectly still whenever the doll shouts, "Red light." However, there are intriguing inconsistencies in how the game unfolds. Gi-hun, fully aware of the consequences of a single wrong move, takes extra precautions. He covers his mouth to muffle his voice as he attempts to guide the other players, sharing strategies to avoid triggering the doll's hypersensitive motion sensors. The doll's sensors are shown to be extremely precise, as one woman is shot despite only trembling slightly with her hands. Yet, these sensors don't always seem infallible. One noticeable anomaly is Park Young-sik. Despite visibly twitching when the chaos begins and other players start getting picked off, he is spared by the doll and the snipers. Similarly, player 222, who jerks her arms noticeably at one point, also escapes detection. Although she is partially shielded by other players, her movement seems significant enough that it should have triggered the sensors, and yet she survives. These inconsistencies don't seem accidental, especially in a show like Squid Game, where every detail matters. The fact that these rule violations are explicitly shown hints at their potential significance. Are these characters being spared deliberately, and if so, why? Is there a hidden agenda at play, or perhaps a malfunction in the doll's sensors? Or could it be that the masterminds of the game are selectively enforcing the rules to manipulate outcomes? These unanswered questions add an extra layer of mystery to an already nerve-wracking scene, leaving us to wonder if these characters' survival hints at larger twists to come. Well, my dear followers, that's all I've uncovered for now. Watching this new season and piecing together these theories has been such a thrill for this old soul. Let me know what you think of these findings, and if you've got any theories of your own, don't keep them to yourself. Share them in the comments. Until next time, stay curious and kind. Your grandpa will see you soon.